Hi everyone, it's Lisa Jane here, and it doesn't really matter what day of the week it is, and it doesn't really matter when this video finds you, because the energy I'm using to transmit this information will be relevant to you at whatever point in time, and it might even be more relevant to you a year later. So as with all of my videos, please just go and have a look through my channel, because a lot of what I've shared over the past year and a half is extremely relevant now. And if you haven't subscribed, click the notification button, because more and more videos are coming as I'm really being inspired to share information. And what often happens with me is that I receive the information way ahead of when it's actually relevant, but at the same time there may be those for whom it is relevant now, and for those of you that is relevant later. So anyway, take a look at my channel, pick up all the videos, because these energetic shifts we're experiencing now are coming thick and fast, and a lot of my guidance has kind of been sharing stuff as we go along. So this particular video, which I was nudged to share while running this morning, because here in Cape Town, South Africa, we are still under quite a severe lockdown. We are only allowed to exercise between the hours of 6 and 9 a.m. in the morning. And since we're heading into winter, it's actually quite dark at those times. So you really only have a small, narrow window if you don't want to go running off in the dark, which is nice. But I've also been told I need to be safe by my family. So on this run this morning with my gorgeous daughter, this thing just dropped into my head in terms of a teaching or a sharing, however you want to call it. And so today what I want to talk about is really the mindfulness and practice of coherence that can be used to allow your soul to land for the process of embodiment. Now you may ask, what does that? What the hell does that mean? Well, you know, as humans, we tag things and we give things names to try and understand. I mean, I had once this discussion with someone saying how I didn't agree with labels, you know, especially when my kids were growing up. I didn't like the label, you know, kind of she's bossy or he's this or he's that. And in general, we have become so used to holding onto labels that I think it takes us away from who we really are. But in order for me to get my version of what I pick up across to you and the information, I need to use some labels. So let's just say, for the purposes of this video, there is this thing called a soul. Let's label it that. And I'm beginning to kind of not like that term actually, but anyway, for now let's use it. And let's say that soul is a higher expression of you in terms of how you show up in the world. And let's just say that soul expression really likes a clean environment. It doesn't like murky, yucky energy. Firstly, because it is of a higher vibration, and for those of you who kind of have, you know, delved into the spiritual terminology world will know about ascension and high vibration, low vibration. So it has a higher vibration, and this field we hold here in this physical world is quite dense, so it has trouble kind of coming in. And you know, if you've been to any energy healing or spiritual healings, they might have told you, hey, your soul is out your body. Well, for me, for pretty much everyone on the planet, our souls have been out of our body. I don't think there's any one person who has truly embodied their soul essence. Some have come close. But the process we are in now, and a process that we've been strongly in, I would say for about 2 or 3 years, is the process I'd like to call, and another label, embodiment. What does that mean? Embodiment means we are in the process of bringing in the soul's wisdom and vibration into this physical expression. What does that mean for the body? Well, it means that it can cause a variety of uncomfortable sensations or feelings, and that then, another term, might be an ascension symptom, which essentially just means that there's a high vibration of energy coming in and our body's struggling with it. Right. So if we are in this process, along with a whole lot of other ones, but I'm going to discuss this one today, if we are in this process of embodiment, if we are all, because I don't think anyone's excluded from this process on the planet at the moment, in the process of bringing in a higher aspect or a higher vibration, then how can we work in such a way that we allow it almost kind of just to settle without fighting it? Because that's the thing, right, is that the soul doesn't force its way in. the soul energy. There is not much we can do to kind of really pull it in quick and fast. It's a process. But what we can do is really work energetically in a way that enables this body and the energy centers that hold the soul to the body, in other words, the light body, in this physical embodiment phase. Now, I don't want to get too complicated, right? Because that's one thing about my work, is I keep it nice and simple, hopefully, and I use symbols and analogies and imagery to kind of put the message across, and it's for you to take what you need and take what resonates, drop what doesn't, but then in your own way, you will understand what I'm saying and be able to express it in your work or your healing. So, if we're in this process, one of many, again, where our highest vibration, our highest aspect is embodying itself into the physical world so that essentially we can be animated to create our best life and live our highest potential, then there are two practices, and there are many, but for me, two main ones that can be used to assist this process. The one is mindfulness, and the second one is to hold a coherent field through breathing. Now, there are many techniques out there, and why I'm using these two is because for me, there is a powerful energetic process that happens when you use those two in combination. I've had my own experiences with mindfulness. When I was in corporate IT, full-time job, I was consulting, I was flying all over the country, and then I had 3 children in 16 months. You can imagine, for those of you that are mothers out there, or those of you that have toddlers, that it was a very, very busy time of my life. And whilst I've always been spiritual and been a spiritual seeker, at that time, mindfulness as a concept came to me through the Buddhist teachings. I had the privilege of meeting Jon Kabat-Zinn face to face, and if you want to Google him and read his books, fabulous. But energetically, what mindfulness does, if you can practice it properly, is that if this is just energy, right, we can see ourselves as a series of cables, much like you would open up an electrical wire, and there's a whole lot of cables in, right? We want to have all our cables of full electrical voltage in this channel, right? We can have that energy disappearing for a whole number of reasons, and that's another topic for another day. But essentially, if you visualize that in order to hold this highest potential, highest voltage, we need all our cables in this housing. If we are thinking about tomorrow, or if we're thinking about the past, or even if we're doing something now and we're thinking about what we have to do later in the day, we are not mindful, and we are sending our energetic tendrils out into the ether where they are wasted, essentially. It is not here in the center. Now, mindfulness doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sit there meditating and be quiet. But what mindfulness does mean is that you approach everything with a new awareness. And for me, the most powerful mindfulness process or practice is when you engage in it with another person, which is especially true now in lockdown, right? If we're in lockdown, we're with those people that might drive us mad, or we might be quite happy and at peace with. But if we can use mindfulness in that way, that when you engage that person in a brand new day or a brand new moment, as if you are meeting that person for the first time, and you drop all the irritations, you drop all the labels you've given them, oh, he's lazy, oh, she's talkative, oh, she's demanding, right? You drop all that, and you meet them as if they are new in your eyes. Ah, what power lies in that, right? But that's just one example of mindfulness, and probably the most powerful one. But in being mindful, you gather up your energetic tendrils and you actually create for yourself a powerful magnetic vortex that starts bringing all those back in, so that we have all our cables in our housing, because that's what we want, right? If we want to hold the vibration to drop in our soul. That's the first one. The second one, because this heart energy center is a very important energy center to work with in the awakening process, is a practice of coherent breathing. And here I'm going to kind of quote HeartMath and the HeartMath Institute, because I am a licensed HeartMath practitioner, which I used when I was in corporate. I don't use it so much now. It's more my energy work that I focus on. But it really brought in the awareness of, if you can be mindful and coherent, then you are working powerfully energetically to bring all your energy back into this housing, and then also to work with the heart energy center to expand it and to hold a field of coherence, which is actually God, right? Because it's the energy of nature. That's how nature communicates to each other, how the birds, they move so rapidly and quickly together, and the fish and their shoals, right? Because they are in one coherent field. So in the use of coherent breathing, you not only change the physiology of your body, and I'm not going to tell you all about it, you can Google. You also work very powerfully with the heart field. So now what do we have? This is a picture I'm going to give you. We not only have created a housing that has all of our cables inside, so we're energetically not leaving all our bits and pieces all over. And remember, this is simplistic. I'm giving you the simple version here, right? Because that energy is thoughts, behaviors, patterns, past, future, blah, the whole lot. So that might take a while until you can get that right. But mindfulness will assist with that. And then everything is in this housing, and then we start to expand and work with the heart field, right? You know where I'm going to, right? We're expanding. We're bringing in all of our voltage. Now you're creating an energetic environment that is very conducive to working with the highest aspect of yourself, to allow the soul to drop in with all of its wisdom and knowledge, and to allow a connection to the field out there, because everybody can be a psychic. You just got to practice coherence. That your antenna now can pick up so much more information for you to live to your highest potential and connect with others. Because what that coherence and the connection also builds is that when faced with another and when faced with conflict, you will intuitively know from the soul, higher self's wisdom, from the heart's expanded energy field and intuition, why they are reacting or acting in the way they are, and you will immediately have compassion for them. You will immediately understand how you need to react in order to lovingly and peacefully engage with them. Have I said too much? Maybe I have. I don't know. Anyway, maybe to keep it, what is the time? 13 minutes. So I'll end off in 2 minutes. And then you can always drop me a comment and say, actually, Lisa Jane, I didn't know what the frick you were talking about. Can you please expand on this XYZ? And I will. But it is a simple thing. If we can just get to push out all the stories and drama and all of those emotions that you just get rattled up with, and you can spend time every day understanding what being mindful is and what being coherent is. Because those two are your superpowers when it comes to a spiritual path. You know, when it comes to you wanting to be psychic or wanting to connect to the angels, the gods, the spirits, whoever it is out there you want to talk to, or just connect lovingly with your partner. Because that's a talk for another day, right? Conscious relating. Conscious relating, yep, a biggie in this point in time when we're all in lockdown. But for now, I wanted to share that with you because while I was running, it was kind of chattering in my head. So now I've got it out. I feel better. So please engage with me. I'm here. You know, I might be triggered or prompted to share something with you, but I really need to hear what's of value and what's maybe not of value. So yeah, I wish you the most blessed day. Wherever this finds you, I always send it with the intention of healing and highest good for you and anyone else you share it with. There are a lot of people struggling out there. I know that. I'm here should you need a healing or a reading or anything to help you along. It comes with compassion from my heart to yours. So have a look at my things underneath my links, my website, my Instagram site. Subscribe, and my Facebook. And all of those will be sharing, hopefully, guidance and that to help you along this path. So with much love to you, and I will be back again soon, no doubt. I wish you a blessed, blessed, blessed day. And we'll talk again soon. Bye.